My name is Pritesh, and I'm the founder of Humans of Tech. I'm super excited to invite you all to this beautiful space. So we'll be talking about like life of a software engineer in bank companies. How what are the things they get, even the perks or other things. About mental health of a software engineer, tech opportunities which are there on the Twitter. So the people who are new to Humans of Tech, I would like to give a small introduction of what the platform is. So this is the platform where you'll be able to listen, read, and watch inspiring stories of people in tech who have something interesting, something crazy to share about their life and journey. So here what we do is we understand like what goes behind the scene of whatever you see on social media, right? So there is a human behind the success that you see on social media. So we talk about those things. So yeah. So in a nutshell, if you are someone who is not sure about that career in tech or something, some things are not going right or wrong in your tech life or career, or if you are a passionate reader or listener who loves to listen and read to stories of people, what were the struggles they went through, how they got the success that they are having right now, what are their future plans and stuff like that, then you can surely go to our website. So everything is there on our website. We have a link to all the Spotify podcasts that we have recorded till now, even the YouTube videos that we have. Even right now, we have two of the blogs which are already out right now. If you are a reader, you can go ahead and read the blogs. Blogs are super crisp and super interesting to read. All right. So yeah, that was there for Humans of Tech. Um in today's space, we have an amazing speaker who has inspired a lot of individuals in tech. We have Amisha in the house today, and I'm super excited to invite her to have a beautiful conversation about her life in the space. She'll be sharing a lot of interesting stuff about her life, how she cracked Microsoft and Flipkart as an intern and now a software engineer at Google, and also some insights on her college and pre-college life. Right? Yeah. So I would like now Amisha to give a quick introduction about herself, and then we'll proceed with the questions that we have.
So yeah, thank you, Pritesh, for inviting me to this space. It's been a long time I've joined a Twitter space. So yeah, about me, I think so. Currently, I am a software engineer. I am currently working at Google. I have recently graduated from IIIT Delhi. Before that, as you mentioned, I've done some internships, and but I think I am looking forward to talking.
Also.
Yeah, I think I am more interested in talking about uh, how things have been till now. And yeah, for the introduction, I think a lot of people know me through Twitter. I also have a YouTube channel, though I'm not very active on that. But yeah, so that's about me.
All right. Thank you so much for the lovely introduction, Amisha. So we'll start the conversation with how does a day in Amisha's life look like right now in Bangalore?
Okay, so that's an interesting question. So currently, I am, I go to the office every day because I don't have a lot of things to do at home. And apart from that, like I think most of my time is spent in the office only. I have all three meals there. I go in the morning, I come back late at night. So that's how a weekday looks like. In the office, I work from, I would say, almost till 6 p.m. Then after 2 hours, I just probably play something or just go to the gym or something. And then I have my dinner and I come back. After coming back, I would say I just talk to my family, talk to my friends, probably read a book or two, and then I sleep. So weekdays are pretty hectic. So coming to weekends, I usually wake up late because I think that's one pleasure, that guilty pleasure of mine that I enjoy a lot. And then I also like make plans to go out and hang with people. Sometimes Twitter meetups, sometimes generally college friends, sometimes company friends, sometimes some other friends that I have made through Twitter also. So yeah, I mean we probably go. hanging out. So that's how a typical day looks like.
Interesting. So how does your weekend look like then? Is it again like you move around Google and chill there, or is it something different?
So weekday or weekend?
I mean weekend.
Okay, so weekend, as I said, weekend, sometimes I don't have a lot of plans. Like this Diwali, a lot of people were at home. So I did not really have a lot of things to do. But generally, I make some plan to, go out because I don't want to be in a room doing nothing. And I have nothing to do on weekends, honestly. So I will just go, like, sometimes I'll go to a temple, sometimes I'll go to a garden, sometimes I'll go for a trek. But yeah, I find some people and I do some activity. So that's how we can look like. Apart from that, the chores like, you know, washing clothes and in general, like, maybe cleaning something and rearranging the almirah. So things like that, they take up a lot of time. Then talking to some friends, probably who live in other cities. So we are free on weekends. So that's the only time you can talk to people. So yeah, I mean, it just gets and it ends very soon. The weekend just starts and ends very soon.
That is so true. I know, like tomorrow and day after will be like with a blink of an eye, it will just go away, and it's Monday again,
Right,
right?
right.
It's interesting to know that you have all your three meals in Google. So you don't have to pay anywhere else since you have a beautiful office and food there itself, right?
Right. Although I would, it's more of a way to pass time. The food is also good, definitely. But earlier I didn't used to do this. This I've been starting. Like I didn't have dinner there, but
Mhm.
since the past 1 or 2 weeks I have started doing this, and I can say that it's a good pastime. Like I can spend time, I can talk to people in Google because a lot of people stay for dinner. So it's good to hang out with people, network with people, and also have good food.
Yeah, yeah, totally makes sense. All right. It was great to know about that. Now let's move to the deep conversation that we are going to have in this particular space. So I will take you back to your childhood memories now, and I want to know that what type of kid Amisha was back, like when she was 5 year old.
Okay, you sound like those mind readers or something that I'll take you back to your childhood. So that's the kind of vibe I got. But yeah, so in my childhood, I was yeah, I talked a lot. That's one thing about me. So I was this bubbly, naughty kind of a kid. And yeah, I mean, one thing like if you want to know how I was, my mother says this one thing always, that if she didn't hear my voice for 10 minutes, that means I'm up to some mischief. So that's the kind of person I was. I have done a lot of embarrassing things. I would, I had a habit of touching everything, and I had a habit of breaking things. So I was a mischievous kid, and I was very social. I like to talk to people, and I think that's still there. So that's about my childhood. I was also a bright kid in school. So my mother is a teacher, so she's also very interested in education. So that is one thing we always focused on, that education was important. You can leave uh, maybe some events, some parties. You can, if even if everything comes secondary to education. So that is how it has always been for me.
All right. And what about your co-curriculum activities during your before 10th or around 10th grade? Like, did you
Uh,
had any hobby or something like that?
so as for hobbies, I sometimes played volleyball, and reading books is something that I've always loved. Like, uh, my father is also an avid reader. Like he reads Hindi books usually, but I have, like, every uh, week we had this library period where we could go to the library and issue books. So most people did not issue books, but I always issued 1 or 2 books, and then I would read that. So that was my comfort. And yeah, so I think I've read a lot of books because of that, mostly fictional, not self-help kind of books. Those books I don't really like. So these are the co-curricular activities, and apart from that, talking to people is something I've always enjoyed.
All right, interesting to know that. So now you are in 10th standard, you have some activities. It like before, like around 10th, everything is kind of a chill life, right? And even my mother is teacher, so I know how how we are as a kid. So we have to, maintain that, that thing that okay, we are a kid of a teacher, so we are not supposed to be that bad in studies. But yeah, but what after that, right? So after 10th, everything was going fine. And now, after 10th, in India, what happens is your career starts after 10th only. Like people start talking about, uh, right now you study, later you'll enjoy and stuff like that, right? So what was seen with your
So
life?
yeah, one interesting thing is that I wanted to do engineering. Like in India, you usually have two options, either PCM or PCB. Although it wasn't like something that my parents never pressured me into taking something, but uh, I was interested in science. So, and I did not want to be a doctor. Like I want to be a doctor, as in the work they do is great, but I couldn't tolerate biology at all. That is something, and it had a lot of rote learning. So I did not want to be a doctor or work that hard. So I decided that I'll be an engineer. And I liked maths more than I liked biology. So that was the logic I had in my mind. And with that logic, I went ahead and said that I'll take science. And then I decided that I'll do JEE also. And then I got myself enrolled into a coaching, joined the coaching center, and now suddenly everything just changed. Like if you know from class 10 to class 11, the syllabus, especially in science, is a huge jump. And looking at that syllabus, I was not sure if I'll be able to do this, but still I had this confidence that if I have always been a smart kid, so I'll probably do it, right? But slowly it dawned on me that I actually got a good batch also in a coaching, because I got my exam went well, so they gave me this top batch. So, and a disadvantage of being in a top batch is that everyone around you is very smart, right? And everyone around me was very very smart. And then I also had to go to school, and our school has this strict 75% policy, attendance policy. So I would go to school every day. At least for 3 or 4 days I had to go out of 5, right? Then I would go to the coaching like twice or thrice in a week. That was 1.5 hours one side in a metro, right? And 1.5 hours coming back. So all this started to take a toll on my mental health. Like I question and looking at whatever was being taught, and I started falling behind on syllabus also. In school also I did not focus much, because I would just go, but I would be busy solving those coaching questions, right? So at both the places my marks just went down. Like in coaching also, I would, out of 360, I would get say 130 or something. In school also, school exams, I would not be well prepared, because schools were like school people were teaching very fast, so they were way ahead in syllabus as compared to the coaching. So I did not know a lot of chapters. So in school also I did not get a lot of good marks. Like I would probably be somewhere in the bottom people in the class. So slowly, like, and this whole loop of I would go in an exam with full confidence, but I would, since I had not completed the whole syllabus, I would again get bad marks. Then again it would keep on going like that. So my mental health just went for a toss. Like there was a time when I just wanted, like, I remember having this thought very clearly many a times, and I'm not kidding, or I'm not trying to probably now I was this this topper, and now I was suddenly in the bottom layer of this whole scenario. And I would be so tired. Sometimes I would go to the school like early morning, 6:30 I would wake up, 7:30 I would reach the school. Then I would be at the school till 2 o'clock. Then from 2 o'clock, my father would come, and he would. And hats off to my dad for doing this twice or thrice a week. I still feel I am indebted to them, but yeah. So he would come, and he would bring me lunch. My mother would pack that lunch. She would come from school. She would pack lunch for me. My father would come, and then he would drop me off to the metro station, which was like a few kilometers away from school. And then from that so between school to metro station, I had to eat that lunch in the car. And then from the metro station, again 1.5 hours journey, and I would go to the coaching institute. And then I would come back at night, come back to home. So it would be around 9 or 10 p.m. when I reached home, right? So I would be so tired. And after this, like, coaching teachers would tell us that, you should immediately revise when you go back. So I was studying in the metro. While I was going, I was studying. While I was coming back, I was studying. When I came to home, I would just have dinner and then I would start studying. So basically, like, physically also, I was very tired due to this routine of going from school to coaching. And mentally, I was very tired. Like, I felt like a failure. I felt very disappointed in myself that, what am I doing? And uh, at some point, I thought that, I will not even get a good college at this rate, because the people around me were so smart and my marks were going at they were very poor, honestly. So I thought, I don't know what will happen, but I was just so done. And that, my mother told me that it's fine, just since you have prepared for so long, at least give the exam, but do not burden yourself with it. Do not burden yourself with the result. Whatever the result will be, let's just not worry too much about it. So also, I think that gave me some relief. So one thing, that if any one of your siblings or anyone is preparing for JEE or any exam for that matter, one thing is that just don't never let their self-esteem be hurt by say marks or something, because marks can change, but that once you have that deep self-esteem issues with yourself, or you feel that you're useless or worthless, that never goes away. So that is one thing that I'm happy that my parents never pressured me, even at that point. Although I myself pressured myself because of a lot of this, feeling like a failure and everything. But yeah, finally I just decided, I at that then last few months I just gave up on all the difficult chapters. I just did whatever I could. Like, I did not, whatever questions I could do, whatever chapters I found easy, I just did them. I actually left a few chapters also. I did not care much. I was like, let's just do what we can. But thankfully, JEE went well, much better than my expectations, and I got into IIIT Delhi. Because of we also have a Delhi state quota, so that helped. And I also had, very luckily, I had this regional maths Olympiad. I had qualified. Like, I was in the top 30 students in Delhi. So there is a bonus point for regional maths Olympiad in IIIT Delhi. So that also helped. So both of these factors combined, I got into IIIT Delhi. But I can tell you one thing, that JEE gets over, but the trauma stays for a long time. So that is like the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
It's not me, right? How I can be so low, how I can be this and that. And that under the hood, sets up a mental pressure on, like, without anyone saying anything, it just comes. I can totally understand that. And that phase of life is harder than anything. I am not sure how many people have been through that phase of life. 11th, 12th JE phase for any kid in India is kind of a nightmare. It have to work hard like anything, and the life is up, like, all you do is just study, right? You have to leave everything and just focus on one thing, that is getting a good college and study hard. And listening your story, you also used to travel from, like, college and uh, also the coaching. So generally when people do JE stuff, they do something like dummy school and stuff like that, right? So did you, like, had tried that or
Bring
something?
me some joy. So that is another reason I did not want to leave a school I had been in for 10 years. So I did not leave school, but I can tell you that juggling both of them together was a very big task.
Yeah, and you saying that 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 phase of life was the hardest thing that you've done in your life, and now you are in Google, so getting into Google was easier than that phase of life.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Because
Oh,
I think once you get a decent college, that becomes easier. So you have to work hard at some point. If either you work hard in class 11th or 12th, or you work hard in college, like, both are also possible. But JEE was like very competitive. JEE is like your 10 lakh people versus you. So nothing else is that competitive, I would say. And plus, that age is very, like, at that age you don't realize, and everything that happens, you take it to your heart. Like now, if I am not selected somewhere, I will not take it to my heart. I will be like, okay, fine, maybe it was just a bad day. But at that time, that becomes a self-esteem issue, that, maybe I am not smart, or maybe I am just dumb. So that, and at that time, you don't have a plan for a career. You don't know, how will the world work. So JEE seemed like this easy way that, if I do this, then maybe I'll have a secure future. So secure future is a very big thing for a lot of people. So for me also, coming from a middle class family, I had this thing that, I want a secure future. So, and when I saw the exam and my marks, I was like, oh my god, my future is just shattered. So at that time, there were a lot of, like, the worldview is very narrow, and you just keep thinking and blaming yourself only. So yeah.
Something else, you see that, okay, this is also incorrect, this is also incorrect, how many are left, everything is in negative, what should I do now? That is again a crazy thing that happens with a lot of us. But hats off to the people who, has courage to take a drop and prepare it again for that career, right? It's not easy to take that decision. Sometimes their parent take that decision for their kids, but yeah, they have their own choices and they have their own life. But great to see, Amisha, that after a lot of hustle, a lot of ups and downs in your mental health and your life, you got into a really good college, IIIT Delhi, right? So can you speak about the college? Like, how was the college
There
and
is
stuff?
10 lakh people. So that is the match I would apply, right? It was, of course, not sensible, because out of all the 10 lakh people, not everyone is working this hard. But back then, that is, I think, so your environment matters a lot. It definitely motivated me to work harder, but it also was a very depressing factor. So yeah, coming to the college life, I would say now. So my college is it's a nice college. It's the placements etc are good. In fact, it's, I would say, comparable to the IITs in some cases, right? Because a lot of good companies visit. So it's not a bad college. And I mean, after hustling that much, I mean, I'm happy I got a good college finally. It's a beautiful small campus, 25 acres, and yeah, it's not a very famous college. Like if I tell people that IIIT Delhi, maybe here people will know, but generally people do have no idea. Like even my relatives don't know what is IIIT Delhi. The full form is Indraprasth Institute of Information Technology. So people think this is under Indraprasth University, IP University, which is not true. It is actually managed by government. I mean, it is directly under Delhi government. It's autonomous, but people don't know this, and they think that, okay, this is under IP University probably. Even the auto Palas, they don't know. Like I lived very close from the college, and still every time I took an auto, I had to tell them that, this is the exact place, this is the location, this is the Okhla phase 3. So no one even knows about this college, but it is a hidden gem. That is all I can say. And the people I met there are also very smart. Again, in college also, I would say I was not the smartest person. So that is one thing. If you are with smart people, you will never be the smartest person in room. I know, like, Priyansh Agarwal is from my college, and he's a famous person. Most people know him, so I'm taking his name. So a lot of smart people, very well, people who are doing very well in their lives were there. So it was an interesting journey, and
Okay.
it was, yeah. Go ahead.
I will break down the journey for you. You don't have to, uh, you know, say everything at once. So I wanted to know, like, after 11th and 12th, after hustling this much, as you said, after hustling for 2 years, this phase of life comes, right? The college, right? College is like most exaggerated thing in any Indian kid, right? Like college में जाके, like, हम ये करेंगे, हम वो करेंगे, right? College, there is no restrictions and stuff like that, right? I wanted to know, how was your first day at your college? Is there anything interesting you want to share about
Roam
that?
around till 4 a.m. in the campus, and like, we watched some horror movies also. So yeah, I mean, those 10 days I enjoyed a lot. But then once the college started, like, it's a very rigorous college. It's a very research based and, very rigorous college. So plagiarism and everything is in check. So it wasn't as rosy. But yeah, in the first few days, yeah, we had a blast. Like, I can tell you, we also had a, like, some seniors etc were trying on juniors, right? So very interesting stories. And some guys have this very weird mentality that we are now in college and we will, probably do I don't know what. So they would ask out girls or just try to be very flirty or something, and then they would get blocked. So all this stuff also happened with me, and yeah, I mean it was very new for me because I was never the kind of never the kind of person to get involved in this stuff. I would be just having two, three friends and just be with them. But yeah, so college in the beginning was very interesting, I
It
would say.
could be any college in any and not in any country. I'm not sure about how what happens in other country, but in India is like that only. So boys have different dreams when they enter into college, right? So I guess only boys can relate to this in the space, right? If you go back to your college days, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But yeah, interesting to know about Triple IT Delhi. So initially, when I saw this Triple IT Delhi, even a lot of people get confused between like Triple IT and IIT because there is difference of just one I, and it just that it's not that visible, right? It's just IIT Delhi. It just looks like that. So yeah, all right. So you had some good time in initial days of your college, and can you give me like two-liner description or two-liner glimpse of what happened in your first uh, year of your college? Did you had any any internship or something? What happened in your first year of your college?
So first year was a very confusing phase, I would say. I did not know coding in my school. I had physical education, so I did not know coding. So in the first year, I just learned basic coding. I learned DSA. I took a course from somewhere and I learned DSA. So that is coming to the coding part. And coming to the CGPA part, I remember I actually used to work hard for CGPA, like assignments and everything. So I got a decent CGPA also, 8.4, not too good, but not too bad, I would say, in the first semester. So CGPA wise, it was fine. Coding wise, I struggled a bit, but then I took some courses and it was getting better. I also tried some things like I joined this football team. We had a like recently we had made a girls football team, and then lastly I also tried some things like in after first year I started this Android and some things I tried like Android and web development. So overall it was fun also. I've also went out and all. So it was fun also, and it was confusing also that what is important. Is coding more important? Is CGPA more important? Or what should I do? So and then COVID hit. Like before second semester could end, COVID hit. So then we were at home only. I did not study every day. I just attended all classes because one senior had said that at least attend all classes so that you know what is going on. So I attended all the classes. I would just listen to whatever anyone said. Like I was not someone that okay, yeah, I should. I did not have any concept of listening to YouTube. I would just. We had this one senior mentor assigned to us. He was in I think fourth year or third year at that time. So he would whatever I would ask him sometimes, and whatever he said, I would just agree. Like one thing I think that has helped me in life also is not to be too complicated. Like if someone says something, if someone gives me an advice, I just listen to it. I don't think that okay, maybe I can get better advice, or maybe is this person very qualified to give me this advice, or I I am naive in that sense, right? So a senior said that you should attend all classes. So I said that okay, I should attend all classes, and we also had attendance back then, although it did not matter a lot. A lot of people had very less attendance. Also, they would allow everyone, but I did not know that, right? So a senior said that we should do this. My friends were a little like they were very chill. They did not want to study a lot, so they were like, let's go and let's hang out. So I would listen to them also, and I would hang out also. And then coming to DSA, I remember in my first semester, this introduction to programming course was there, in which there was this final assignment, coding assignment, and I got a 0 out of 15%, right? So at that time, I realized कि अब तो मतलब कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा, right? ऐसे तो नहीं चलेगा, right? Because everyone around me is smart and people know coding from class 11th and 12th, and I know nothing. So I got a 0 out of 15%, and I think that was an important thing that happened. Then I knew that second semester we will have DSA course. We have this course of data structures and algorithms in the second year itself, and it is a very tough course because they would give us all these different difficult assignments and everything. So I knew that up to matlab, I knew that if I don't take a course or if I don't prepare on my own, I will fail this course. That is what the fear I had in my mind. So I asked my mentor, what should I do? And he said that you can take some course. So after the first semester, there's this 1 month long vacation in December, right? So I took this course. It was a paid offline course, in fact. So I would go and attend the classes there. So that gave me a base for DSA. Like for 2 months I took that course. When college started, then I went in the evening. So that prepared that base, so I knew DSA. The other courses I did not focus much on in the second semester. DSA was like took up a lot of time. So that was my approach, that I did everything in with a balance. I did not, like, I would not keep on studying every day. I would study just before exams, but I would attend all the classes. Similarly, I would do DSA like 1 or 2 questions every day. And hang out, we will, like, twice a month, we will just go to a cafe and just have some fun.
Is
So,
done or what? So yeah, so CSE people do a lot of stuff. I know, I've seen those people. So I belong to mechanical engineering background, and you must be knowing this particular branch with some different perception in your mind. I know. We'll talk about that sometime later. But, okay, we are not that bad. Okay, so yeah, all right. So this was what year? COVID hit in 2021 February or somewhere, right?
no, 2020 March.
2000, okay, 20 March. Yeah, you're correct. 20 March. 21, I passed out. All right. So 20 March, May, you had a lockdown. And then how many years you been into lockdown in your college life?
So 2020 March means that our second semester was half over. So then COVID started, and then in the final year, I think, yeah, final year for 2 semesters. Like final year, we went to college. So the
Oh,
whole of second, third year was in COVID, and some part of first year also.
so you cracked this Flipkart and Microsoft being in, like, being at home only, right?
Right.
Do you think if there would be college, if there would not be any stuff like pandemic or something like that, you think you would be able to crack these internships?
I can't say, but I think, yeah. So COVID also helped that, online exams and everything. So you don't need to study much. You can just refer to the notes and everything. So this is something everyone knows, right? So people started, like, people would not even attend classes, and there was no attendance criteria left, at least for our college. So COVID helped me to focus on DSA and these internships, ethics, right? I did not have to worry a lot about courses or college, or even I could not hang out with people. So COVID took away the social life, but COVID also reduced the pressure of, college assignments, and a little bit, like, they became easier, I would say. So I I don't know what the scenario would have been if COVID didn't hit.
I see, understand. So which was the first internship you cracked? Was it Microsoft or Flipkart?
So Flipkart I cracked. There was this secondly. So after the summer of, like, in the summer of no, yeah. So after second year, we had this summer vacation. So in that only they had this interview and the internship also. Both of them were in the summer after second year. So that's the first internship I had.
Okay, so this came to your campus or something like that.
No, it didn't come to our campus. There was this off-campus D2C, like, and earlier it was called Dare to Complete. Now it's called Unstop. So there, this was listed that, Flipkart Runway. It's actually a special program for women in second year. So that was the first time they had launched something like this. So our placement cell also sent us the link, but it was on Unstop, so it was off campus only. So I applied, and there was an MCQ test, and I gave the MCQ test, and somehow I got, like, out of 30, I think I got 26 or something. So then they selected me for an interview. So out of 14,500 people who
Yeah,
applied, I kept preparing. So then we had our interview. We had one round of just one interview. We did not even have two rounds, like, because they were so short in time. They had to start the internship also, right? So we had one interview, and in that I had two questions, and I was able to do those with a little bit help, but mostly I was able to do them. So out of 150 girls, 23 were selected for the internship. So I was one of them.
understood. So when did you got your offer letter then?
Within 1 week or something, it was. as I said, they did not have a lot of time.
I see. So this is Flipkart, right? So, what type of perks you get as an intern at Flipkart?
The work I got was very like actually I got a little tougher task than you would expect to for a second year student to get, right. Like we had to make this Google Hangouts. Google Hangouts is there, so there's you can chat on Google Hangouts. So we had to make a chat bot. There's something called patent filing in companies. Employees can file patent. So there was this whole way of filing patent. People had to raise a Jira ticket and things like that. So they wanted to make a chatbot that was called Padbot because it was for patent filing. So we made that. We had to make that bot, and like there was an existing bot already. We just had to understand that code, and we had to make some changes into that. Uh, but yeah, we had to understand API calls, etc. Also, so using that, we had to think of the whole flow. That okay, someone will come, so we will give them four options. That do you want to file a patent? Do you have some general questions? So then they will reply with something, then matlab, they will choose one of these options, then what will be the next thing. So we built all this in 2 months, and it got live also. Like one of the senior engineers deployed it. Of course, we did not know how to deploy. And then later on, our mentor told us that, oh, you are in our manager sort of, she was a manager, yeah, she told us that, oh, you are in the second year. And we said yes. So she said, I thought you are in third year, so I gave you the project according to that. So that is the interesting part, and it actually got deployed, and it's still in Flipkart. I know that because one of my friends again did an internship in third year, so she said that that uh, bot is still working there. So I think for a second year student it was great, and a lot of people appreciated that also.
So this is something that people post a lot when they get that, hey, I got this goodies from Flipkart. Thank you so much, Flipkart, for sending them, stuff like that on LinkedIn.
Yes.
But yeah, they have money to give and they'll give. All right. So this was your second year, and now you are in third year. Third year, you got an internship in Microsoft, right? So was that also on One Stop or D2C, or it was something
So
else?
I got an internship in Microsoft while I was working in Flipkart. Okay. So yeah, I forgot to mention this. So while I was working in Flipkart, I had this project. So there was this Microsoft Engage program, right? Our college sent us that, this is this program, so apply for it. So I also applied for it. And like I did not have a lot of hopes because I was not studying DSA, I was just focusing on the internship. But my friends told me that, you give the interview so that you give the online assessment first so that we also know what kind of questions are there. Okay. So I went ahead and I gave the online assessment, and I did it with no hopes, and I also submitted my resume. And then my friends and everyone, I think, applied, gave this online assessment. uh, but then they shortlisted some random students out of, I think they shortlisted around 60 students out of 480 people who are total in our entire batch. So they shortlisted 60 people for interviews. So I was very shocked because I had not done a lot, like very well in that online assessment, and plus I mean, I wasn't sure, but I think on Microsoft Engage in general is a kind of a scam. People don't know what on what basis they shortlist. I think maybe they looked at my resume, or maybe my CGPA was fine. I don't know. Like they just shortlisted randomly. So yeah, and I remember thinking that how will I prepare, and I did not even know that we will have interviews. I did not know this was for an internship. I thought it's just a mentorship program. So then when I got selected, I came to know that this can also lead to an internship. So then I thought that our we had to make a project. We had to make a clone of Microsoft Teams, something like that. So we had been assigned a mentor from Microsoft, and he was guiding us every week. He would have a meeting with us, three or four people, and we had to make this project, right? What I didn't realize was that Microsoft also, especially in good colleges, they directly give you an interview opportunity. They don't even look at your resume sometimes. Sorry, they don't even look at your project sometimes. So I got an interview opportunity, and you won't believe, today evening I came to know, like not today evening, one evening I came to know that I have my interview scheduled 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, DSA interview. And I have no idea. Like I left DSA 2 months ago because I was working on the internship. I have no idea what to do. And we had an interview the next day. So that's how it was. And I just gave it with no hopes. Like I just revised a bit of DSA, whatever I could in few hours, and that's it. And I went on For others, they generally took 2 rounds. For me, they took 3 rounds. And after 3 rounds, the next day I got this confirmation that I am selected. So my Flipkart internship had ended, or I think it was about to end when I got this offer. And before this, I had to talk to my placement team that, I have Flipkart internship, so should I give Microsoft interview? They said that if you give Microsoft interview and if you get selected, we will not allow you to get an internship in, Flipkart next year. So I was like, of course, Microsoft is a bigger brand than Flipkart. Like, I did not have any other knowledge. I just looked for the brand value, and I gave the interview without any expectations. I think my luck favored me. I got a question I had seen before. So somehow I got selected in Microsoft. Yeah.
That's crazy, right? This is kind of a open AI drama that is happening right now. Right. So, every next step is like you don't know what's gonna happen and it just happens and it is good, right? So interesting. So your life, so all the bad thing which was supposed to happen with you has already been happened when you were in 11th and 10th, 11th and 12th. Sorry. After that, like even if you are trying, everything will be good only for you.
No, no, wait, there is a twist in story. So not
Okay.
everything was good. And then not right now, after the second year. Yeah. So continue. I'll
All
come.
right. So now you are in Flipkart and you also have an internship offer from Microsoft for the next year, right? If I'm not wrong.
Right, right.
All right. So you have like your life is sorted now, right? Because you don't have to do anything. The only thing that you need to think about is your PPO, right? Uh,
Right.
so now once the this after like how much time was there between these two internships after the first internship got ended and the second started?
So yeah, so this internship, Flipkart one was in the summer of like after second year, the summer of second after this before the third year and after the second year. That is when the Flipkart internship was, and that's when I got the offer. But the offer was for next year. So Microsoft internship was after the third year ended
After
in that
third.
summer.
Oh, so 1 year was like you don't have to do anything.
I mean, I did practice DSA. I did all the assignments and all. I also tried my hands on a few other things. I would also
But
give contests, etc. But yeah, technically, I had some because people said that everyone gets PPO, so you will also get PPO. So don't worry that much.
So okay. I'm not sure like why you even after having an offer from Microsoft you did things around, but fine. People are
Yeah,
different.
yeah. So I can tell you that actually a few of my friends did not have an internship offer, so they were struggling very hard because like fourth year is the final year, like you have to get a placement. So they were practicing DSA, giving contests and everything. And as they say, your company matters a lot. So at that time, I would look at them and I would think that I don't know DSA, so I would compare myself to them, and that motivated me to keep on doing DSA. So even if I didn't want to, like most people around me did not do DSA after getting an internship, but for me, I kept on doing it because the people around me, my friends, were doing it. So I was like, I should not at least be left behind. So I would give contests. I was not as good as them, but I was still I would keep a decent ranking, and I would feel bad if I did not get a good rank in some lead code contest because I feel like every the people around me are so smart and they have not got an internship and I have got an internship. So do I even deserve this? So that feeling, I think, so keeping humble sometimes helps. Thinking that I don't know anything, that is a great thing sometimes. And I kept doing the essay, which helped me later.
Yeah, this is something like that helps always. If you think that you don't know, you keep on doing and you'll see the result later on. But yeah. Interesting. So now you are at Microsoft internship. So what work you did in this internship, and how was the onboarding for this?
So the onboarding, yeah, Microsoft is very, I would say, very internal tools and everything. So you don't understand anything come from outside. I had uh, my team was something based on Microsoft Azure. Like I don't exactly remember everything, but yeah, it was very a lot of context was needed. So the onboarding wasn't very easy, and there was some yeah, the onboarding wasn't easy. The task, first of all, I did not understand my task very well. Like it took me some time to understand what I have to exactly do. Then my task was more exploratory. Like I had to, there was some code that I had to automate. Like it was some code that people were manually running. So I had to automate that code so that it gets run without anyone's, um, like anyone doesn't have to actually manually run it. So that was something no one knew how to do it. Like it was, there were some things in place, but we had to try a lot of things. So there were some passwords kept in that code, so we had to keep store those passwords somewhere, and you have to read those passwords from somewhere. So there was a lot of access issues. Many a times there was a lot of exploration, that what are the different methods you can do the same thing in, and I had to talk to people that, okay, is this better or is this better. So coding wise, I did not write a lot of code. Coding, I would say I had already had the code, I just had to make some changes, but exploration was the main thing. So I would explore, and then there were some issues, like my mentor, the one who was assigned to me, she went on a leave. She had her marriage. Okay, so she went on a leave after 15 days of my internship. She was on a leave, so I was assigned another mentor for the time, and he was busy. Like he did not have a lot of time. So I only after 3 days, once in 3 days, he got some half an hour, and he would explain to me very fast that, okay, this is what you have to do. So I did not get a lot of attention, and my manager was completely out of the picture. She was a very high level person. I mean, she was at some high level. She had a lot of experience, so she did not have time to talk to interns anyway. So the main point of contact was supposed to be the mentor, but the mentor was on leave, and this proxy mentor, he was a nice person. He helped me a lot, but he was very super busy. Like the team itself was working a lot, so everyone was super busy. So that is one issue I faced, but nevertheless, I completed my task. Like mostly I completed my task. The last part was that, actually deploying it to production, that was left because we did not, as interns, did not have a lot of access. So they said that, leave this part, but I made a working solution. So deploying to production was something that was left finally.
All right. So this is an interesting that thing, right? Like you are doing something that never had been done in that organization. It's difficult, but if once it is done, you'll feel like there is a different feeling that you have. Okay, I did it right. But I also understand that not having that much of support also frustrates you after a point of that time. That okay, why I'm doing this? They are only not concerned about their thing. Why should I do?
No, I had to be concerned because I wanted a PPO. And then, yeah, interesting thing, my mentor, the one who was originally my mentor, and she had her wedding, she came back in the last 2 weeks. So out of 2 months, she was there for the starting 2 weeks and the last 2 weeks. So in the starting 2 weeks, the work hadn't started. Last 2 weeks, the work was just, getting finished. So she did not actually see me working a lot. So that is an interesting thing, that the managers changed a lot, and yeah, I think mentors changed, and things like that happened. And as you said, it was not groundbreaking work. It was not something very super difficult, but it was just that you had to understand a lot of things, and ask, think of different solutions, and ask other engineers in the team that, okay, can I do this, can I do that. It was more frustrating. It was not actually very useful, but it was frustrating work in that sense.
And you were expecting a PPO just because a lot of people told you that okay, you'll anyways get the PPO, you don't have to worry. But you something happened, right? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's an interesting story. I was expecting a PPO, not because, like, of course, people said that also, that is one thing, but also because I had done my work. Like, they said that PPO is not given only if you have not done work at all. Like, in my case, my work was completed, and my mentor was also fine with that, that, you have done the work. Not, I mean, it didn't go to production. It wasn't like 100% work as I had done in Flipkart, but still, nevertheless, a working solution was proposed. And I think for us, for an intern, that's what companies expect. So work was done, so I thought that I'll get a PPO. And our college was also super, like, our placement team told everyone that you will get a PPO, right? So they did not allow us to, like, there were some things, they did not allow us to be in other different uh, what like other hiring processes of other companies, because we will get a PPO from Microsoft. And they were like that, and then later on, if you get an offer from two companies, that will be a problem, right? You'll have to leave one. So they did not allow us to sit for Google on campus, other companies on campus, a lot of things happening. Uh, and that's the reality of placement sales, unfortunately, in India, that they do a lot of shady stuff, right? But what happened then is, one day I got this. mail, right? Just this placement season has started, companies are visiting, good companies are visiting, first week is there, and we are waiting for our PPO. I get this mail, from Microsoft. I open it with full excitement. I'm like, now this is the time to get a job. And there was just 4 letters written there. Amisha Agarwal, not hired. That is it. And my world, it was like shattered in front of my eyes. I was jobless at this point, and I thought it was a mistake. Like, I could not believe that this could actually happen. I, called up my mentor, I called up my manager, I called up the placement team, and my mentor said that, I'm busy, I'll call you again in the evening. And he did call me in the evening, and he told me that, you had done your work, but sometimes there are business requirements and everything, so we can't help. So at that time, I felt devastated because he said that, I gave a good rating and, you did your work, but maybe there is some issue. So I did not come to know what exactly happened, but at that time, I was left without a job in the middle of placement season, competing with people who had been preparing for the last 1 year because they did not have an internship. So at that time, it was super devastating for me. And yeah, so as I said, everything is not silver lining. And I thought that, why did I get an internship? It would have been better if I did not get an internship in the first place, because then I would have at least kept preparing for DSA at a better level. Like, even now I was preparing, but still it was not as good as other people. So at that
Yeah.
time, I thought that, things have gone south
You
now.
were going on right track, but life was like, this is not going right. Let me do some twist in this, and something unexpected happened. So that night was like that must be a horrible night, right? Now you are jobless. It's a very bad word, but what it is, right?
I was
You
crying. I was crying. I'll be honest. I mean, first I cried, then I became numb, and I was like I don't know. I did not. My brain stopped working at that time. I'm like, I don't know what I'll do. I just mailed my placement team that please let me, sit for the companies next day, and they said that okay, we are adding you to that. You know, we'll send you all the online assessment links. So that's all that I did. My brain just stopped at the time.
Yeah, and obviously, I like you were expecting a PPO, you were all set, and something like this happened. Anyone would be shattered at this point of time. But it's good that they, gave the email before the good companies, were already like interviewed a lot of people and are not there available for you. But what happened after that? Like, did your placement cell allowed you to sit in other companies and you started preparing for it and stuff like that?
Yeah, they allowed us because I mean they did not have like, why will they not allow me? It was I am jobless, so they want me to get a job, right? Yeah, I actually remember I was so angry at my placement cell. I wanted to tell them that, you are the culprit here. Why did you say that everyone will get a PPO if that's not confirmed, right? But never mind. I mean, so they allowed me, and then the next day I went. So next day, so this today I got this email that, I am not selected for Microsoft. Next day I woke up at 8 a.m. to give this Oracle test, online test. So I gave it from my home only. I had no hopes. I just gave this Oracle test. It had a lot of things, aptitude, MCQ, I don't know what all. And then I went to the college because we had this offline process for Urban Company. Urban Company is a startup. So in that we had this presentation, we had this online test, and after the online test, I was able to solve only 2 out of 3 questions. So I thought that I'll be rejected. But somehow, and I was leaving the college to go back home because there was nothing else that day. And you won't believe, like, me and my friend, we were both, going out, and we were just having a discussion that, will we ever get a job or something like that. And we saw this email, and our name was there. So both of us got selected for the interview. And then the same time, I did not have formals. I went back home. I, came running, and I got my formals, and then I had this interview. And in that interview, they asked me a lead code hard question. So they asked me some, I don't remember, some tree based, some binary, some ordering, some traversal based question, which was very hard, lead code hard. So I was not able to solve that. And they told me to write it on paper. And anyways, my writing is so bad, the interviewer couldn't understand what I've written. So it was, yeah, it was a very bad experience. And I knew I am rejected in the first round. I was not able to solve that question. So my morale was shattered. And then I came back and I came to know that okay, I've been selected for Oracle interview also. Like I got shortlisted. So the next day Oracle interview was scheduled. Like you don't even have time to cry during placement. It's like companies are coming at such a speed, you don't have time to process your emotions, nothing. Like you have to be numb and you just have to keep applying and keep doing something. And my good luck, I got the next day I gave the Oracle interview and I got that offer on campus. So Oracle offer on campus actually saved me a bit of heartbreak. So within 2 days, by God's grace and by the fact that I was doing the essay, I did not ever leave it. I got a job within 2 days. So that is the good part. Yeah.
That is the power, right? When you have done a lot of DSA, you have a confidence that okay, you'll able to crack. But within 2 days, the confidence level would be something different, right? If you this soon you are rejected, and then in next 2 days you are having an offer in good company, right?
I think resume also helped, like because I had internships from Microsoft, Flipkart, so that helps. Like people,
Mhm.
they shortlist based on resume also, not just online assessment. So
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that helped. Yeah.
yeah, cool. So what when Google came to your campus and like, can you just tell us that story, Google story? What happened in that?
Yeah, so Google story. So again, interesting. So while I was doing the Microsoft internship, I got a mail. Like I got a LinkedIn request from a LinkedIn message from a recruiter, Google recruiter, and I could not believe. I thought it was a spam. Right? They said that okay, send me your like we are interested in hiring you for software engineer role. Anyways, I thought that I am in Microsoft. I'll get a PPO. So I mean, I first of all it didn't seem real, and secondly, I thought that this is anyways like most likely I won't be able to give this interview, right? Because if I get a PPO, then policies are there that you cannot sit for another company. But nevertheless, I have one habit that I never let go of an opportunity, like never ever let go of an opportunity. So I mailed the resume, and then I got a call the next day that okay, we are interested. So will you like to give an interview for Google? So I at that time also I realized that I will not be able to crack, but nevertheless, since they have given, so I said yes. So they said that when can you give an interview, and that time I was having Microsoft internship, so I just said that give me at least a few days, like give me a month. Like I waited till Microsoft internship will get over, and 15-20 days after that, I told them that please give me that time, and they were okay. Like they were flexible with anything. So they said that okay, we'll give you that time. So when uh, so in my mind, I had thought that I will get a PPO. I will not be able to sit for Google interview because it makes no sense. And plus, Microsoft has a Noida office. I wanted to stay in Delhi NCR honestly. So I thought I'll go for Microsoft Noida and leave, not give Google's interview. Anyway, I will be rejected. So that was my thinking. But then when I did not get a PPO, so the only ray of hope I had was that one Google interview after 15 days. Although I had not prepared for it. I had zero clue how things will be, and most likely I thought I will be rejected. So Oracle interview or Oracle offer letter helped me to gain that confidence that even if I fail this interview, there's nothing to be lost because I have an offer in hand. So with that confidence, I went ahead and gave the Google interview after 15-20 days. So yeah.
Okay, so how was the interview? What was the process?
So the interview process, like I've also told on my YouTube channel. You can check that out. That's a bit of a self promotion. But yeah, the interview was like there were 2 rounds scheduled, 1 hour each. They told us that we will only ask DSC, we will not ask you OSC and DVMS, etc. So 2 rounds were scheduled, both of 1 hour. They asked me one question. One was some graph-based question, detecting a cycle or something. They did not tell me to that you have to detect a cycle. It was some story, and you have to think that this is a graph-based problem, and this is how it is. So that was the first question. There's the first round, and then they asked Googliness question, and then when these 2 rounds were completed, then I got a mail for the third round, like I think within a few days. So I think because my 2 rounds went well, that's why they gave me a third round. Otherwise, that's it. Like, if your 2 rounds are bad, then you don't have a third round. That's how it is. So I had 3 rounds in total within a few days, and all of them had 1 or 2 DSA questions and one Googliness. So they did not ask anything about resume, OS, C, and DVMS. So they have a very clear cut way that we this is what we'll ask. So just prepare for that.
All right. And after like after these three rounds, how much time they took to give you an offer letter?
Uh, so yeah, they took a lot of time to give an offer letter. Like um, it had been a month, I guess, and I thought that if they have not reached out till now, so most likely they will never reach out. But nevertheless, I just mailed the HR that please that am I rejected or am I selected, and she said that I'll call you back. So then she called me within a few days, and finally she said that yeah, it is taking some time. And then finally, I think like it took 1 or 2 months at least. Then I got an offer letter. Yeah,
Oh,
but
so till that time, how many offer letters you already had in your hand?
I had Oracle and Google. That's it. No more.
So after
They got
Oracle,
Apple.
nothing came. After Oracle, nothing came in your bucket.
No, no, because on campus it's over. Like once you get an offer, you're out. So off
Oh,
campus, it's not that easy. So that is it.
I
Oracle.
see. So the Google one is was off campus, kind of.
Yeah, yeah, it was off campus. It had nothing to do. In fact, I was very worried that they will tell my college and my college will take away my Oracle offer, and I'll be what if Google also tomorrow thinks that maybe there's a recession or something and they don't give me an offer, and even Oracle doesn't give me an offer. So I thought that what will happen in that case. So I told them that will you talk to the college? Will you talk to the college? And they said that no, no, it has got nothing to do with the college, so we don't care. Um, and I was like, that's great. So some companies have this policy of keeping the placement cell in loop. But Google, since it knows that we are the topmost company, so they have this swag, I would say, that they don't worry too much about colleges or placement cells or anything. They are like we are independent. So that is one advantage also.
Interesting. But since it took 2 months, there must be like questions in your head. Like that phase is something else, right? You wake up with checking your email first rather than Instagram, and you sleep with checking your email first rather than Instagram, and you just keep checking your email, right? Every day and night, like abhi aayega, abhi aayega.
Personally, I did not have a lot of expectations because I thought that it's Google. Like how many people would they already have? So I had zero expectations. I already had an offer, so I was not worried. Like I was least worried, honestly. I was like, if that happens, that will be extraordinary. But 99% chance that I will not get an offer. So I was at peace. I had no issues. I was enjoying my life. I was doing my assignments, not enjoying my life really. But yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, since you already had offer letter from Oracle, you're not that concerned. But what happened when you got an email? And, like, what was the feeling and what next?
Oh, it was a good feeling. So when she and I remember the recruiter called me. She did not directly send an offer letter. She called me and she said that okay, and she talked in a very plain voice and no emotion. She said that okay, yeah, we took your interviews and all three hiring committees had a similar verdict. And I was like, I am pretty sure she's about to give me a bad news. And she was like, yeah, and they all decided that you are a strong hire. And I was like, what strong hire? I mean, I am not very familiar with the lingo also, but it seemed like a good thing. So she said that, okay, so yeah, we are giving you an offer. And the whole voice was so sad and monotonous and plain. And I could not believe that she's actually delivering good news. So that was a funny thing. And I said, oh, that's great. And she said that you are not excited. And I was thinking that you are not excited. I am still fine. So that was, it was, yeah, it was funny in that sense. So then she sent me an offer letter, like one or two, like one next day, she sent an email. So earlier she just called.
Google. Uh, then, like, when was your joining? Like, at what date you got the offer letter, and when was your joining?
So I got the offer letter, I think around August, late August, no, late August. So I think I don't exactly remember when I got the offer letter. August, September, either of these months. And the joining was they did not tell us the joining. Honestly, Google did not tell us the joining. They kept on saying that we will tell you, we will tell you. I was even afraid that they will probably not even take me. So finally, we joined on 21st August. So very late.
That
That
is
was,
next year.
yeah, yeah.
So till then you were like chilling, chilling or something like that.
Yeah, fourth year, I think everyone chooses only in fourth year.
Yeah, yeah. Your fourth year was in college. My fourth year was in pandemic.
Uh,
So we had more sad life because we had plans for fourth year and nothing happened.
hmm.
That's fine. So you then after having Google offer, anyone would be like, okay. Now I'm sorted in career perspective, and let me chill now, free mind, right? We'll have a lot of money later.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I was a little worried more than that. I was thinking that I'll have to stay away from home. I'm not very okay with staying away from home. So that was the worry in the back of my mind. So I was not completely happy, and I still think that there's a trade-off for everything. So I was chill. I was enjoying, but we also had assignments and all, and offline exams after 2 years. That was a pain because we had lost the ability to study at all. So that was what took up a lot of time of ours, giving online exams and everything. And I wanted to maintain a good CGPA because, again, one of my friends wanted to do an MS. So he had this whole that I need to get a 9 plus. And when your friend is getting good marks, you somehow get motivated, honestly. So I also had that I should also get good marks. So it's always been like, one thing ends and another thing starts. Like, one thing seems normal, okay, offer letter to hai, ab kya kare? So nothing to do. So it kept on, like there was something or the other just kept on happening. It wasn't as chill, and but yeah, worries were less. And yeah, it was fine.
Yeah. Since you were a studious kid, you had that thing that okay, I want to study. If I would be at your place, I would have left my hometown and could be in Himalayas for few months to just chill. But okay, it's nice. So now you came to Bangalore in August, new city, new people, right? New life. How was the onboarding for Google? Like you came to office for like how was the first day at Google?
The first day was actually virtual because they wanted us to set our laptops and all, and we did not have badges and all. So they told us that stay at home, like stay at the temporary location, and it was just a Google Meet, honestly. So that was the first day. So people were like, "Oh, your first day," and I was like, "No, there's nothing. We are at hotel only, and we are just having a Google Meet." So that was the first day. Yeah, coming to Bangalore and all, I think yeah, the weather is nice. I have nothing else to say. That's how it has been. Yeah. So I was staying in a hotel that Google provided us. Then I was looking for PGs and flats, and then we started going to the office. And we had this whole training program and all that HR sessions and everything. So not a lot of learning or fun. It was kind of boring sitting through those sessions. So that was it. It felt like school. Every day you have to go and attend these sessions. So it was kind of boring the first week.
Okay, it was not expected, but okay, as you're saying, the first day Google Meet is even I have my first day in Google Meet in every company that I go, but it's nothing different. But I want to know what are the perks a Google employee get apart from the compensation that you have.
So I think Google is gives a lot of perks. So that's one good thing. But first of all, is food. Like everything else beats it because uh, we need food. Like everyone wants food. So if you have good food in the office, that's a huge motivator. Otherwise, like we are allowed to stay work at home for 2 3 days in a week, but I go to office every day just because of the food. Because I know that I'll miss on food if I stay here. So food is the best thing, and it's free of cost. It's a lot of variety. It's awesome. I like it. I think it beats a lot of restaurants also. So that is one biggest perk. Apart from that, like insurance and cab facility is provided. So cab facility is useful. And yeah, I mean, the other benefits are there are other benefits like bonuses and all those things, but that are like across companies. I think food is something very special to Google, and health insurance etc. is also very nice. They cover a lot of things like lenses. They cover LASIK, and also that's I think the perks are in general better than other companies.
Interesting to know that. Obviously, Google is that, so we don't have to think of anything else. You have good food, you have health insurance, and good life, right? And I hope you're enjoying your time at Google. And I guess now it's our time to close the space since it has been 1.5 hours already. And we are supposed to close this now. So it was wonderful having you, Amisha. I know this is an abrupt end to this space. We are going in a good flow. We can talk for next 10 hours, but but we have to end somewhere. So yeah, I want to know your experience talking about your life here.
I think like I did not ever expect that I will be talking on a space about my life, and it's been a very nice experience. And thank you to everyone who's joined, because I didn't think anyone will be interested in listening to this. But it's good to know that a lot of people were interested. It took me back to some days. It also I think provided this perspective, hopefully, to people that just because you see someone that okay, this person is working here, and you think that oh yeah, ये तो deserve नहीं करता, ये तो ऐसे ही है, मतलब people have this habit of just probably ऐसे मतलब बोल देते हैं कि you don't deserve to be here, or who has taken you, something like that. A lot of people think that or maybe women in general, like they don't deserve to be here, diversity hiring, ये सब चीजें बोलते रहते हैं from time to time. But I just think that every person's journey is different. You would know me through Twitter, right? I don't know your whole journey. Similarly, we don't know anyone's whole journey, so it's very stupid to judge someone based on something that they've said or one tweet they've done. So never do that. And the experience has been very nice. And thank you, Pritish, for calling me. It's been a good Friday evening.
We'll close the space for the evening. So that was episode 9 of Humans of Tech, from depression in JEE to working at Google with Amisha.